Hi, this week we are going to do a little finger painting. In each of your packs you will have an 8x8 canvas that we roughly underwashed with blue. That is just to provide the painting with a little background. You'll receive several colors. You'll have some green, red, purple, white, and brown. Before starting today, I pre-mixed a few of our colors. I added a little purple to some of the red to make a darker red because I want to have a couple shades. I also lightened a little of my green because I want some lighter green as we work, and that's just so I won't be doing that while we're filming today. So when you finger paint, you can wear gloves. A lot of people do. These are non-toxic acrylic paints, so it's fine to not wear gloves. If you're using professional grade acrylic paints, you will want to wear gloves because they sometimes contain heavy metals. The same is true with oil paints, so you definitely want to be careful with those. If you wear gloves, make sure they have a close fit. You don't want to have wrinkly fingers that will impede your progress as you paint. So today we're just going to do a quick little winter scene. Some winter trees, little holly berries, some snow, just a quick little scene. So what we do when we finger paint, you want to have a lot of paper towels around because you'll use them to quickly clean your fingers or your gloved fingers. You work with a lot of layers, and you can make a lot of dots and dashes. And so I'm going to start with the brown, and I'm going to start with some really faint stem work. This is just going to be the trunk of my larger tree. I'm going to have it go almost to the top, and just some real faint branches here. And it's going to look really vague at the moment. I'm going to have a little brown down here, I think, to start with. And in the background, I'm going to put a few background stems. And you can adjust width by using different fingers. So I want some of these to be a little thinner, so I'm going to use my pinky. You can kind of edge those back in if you think they're a little thick. Have a little there. And it's okay if they're a little faint right now. We can fill them in a little more later. I want a few holly branches here coming out from the side. And they aren't going to be, it's not going to look like much right now. It just looks like a few squiggles and whatnot. And now I'm going to wipe my fingers off. Okay. That was good. So now I'm going to start playing with some green and just start filling in some of the negative space. I'm going to start up here, some of the top, and I'm going to use this lighter green. Just make little dots and dabs. I'm going to use some of my darker paint down here for what's in the foreground. You just keep adding bits and filling in the negative space around there. And you don't necessarily want to fill in everything right away. And you can do different shapes here. So say I want some squiggles, I can make some little V shapes if I want, to add some different textures to that. Especially maybe near the top where I wanted a little more cone shaped. And on the edges of these branches. You can see it starts filling. I'm going to add a little of the dark on some of these. On these. And I want this to be sort of vague in the background. Sort of a distant, blurry, impressionistic look. Okay. I'm going to add a little of the lighter green now in here. You can see here it's adding some texture. And after I do this, I will add more of the dark on top of it. But this is one of the ways you create depth. And I'm going to start with my lighter red, the red that we sent along, and just start making little dabs, different sizes, just randomly through my tree. Add some color. Now I'm going to go to my darker red. This is the one I mixed with the purple. Gives it more of a deep maroon type red color. So you go from that bright scarlet red to more of this maroon color, and it adds a little depth. Makes the other seem not quite as stark. I'm going to wipe my hands off really well. Now I'm going to add some snow, and this is what usually gets me in trouble because I want to add white everywhere, but you need to be somewhat careful with white because a lot of white can overpower what you're working on, because white is very powerful. So I'm just going to start adding some snow. You can see how it starts to smear around a little up here. Make these all snowy. Okay, so one of the reasons we had sent purple, aside from the fact that you can mix the various colors with it, and you can even add it to the green if you want to make it a little darker, is you can use it to add a little more color to your background. It mixes really well in with shading the blue background. Adds a little depth. So there we have the finger painting, and here's your finger painting. But you can make whatever kind of scene you want, but we've sent home the paints to do a quick little winter scene. Have fun!